5. Projects and initiatives developed. 5.1. Examples of political proposals created by participants. During the youth exchange, participants worked in international teams applying the Dragon Dreaming methodology to develop politically impactful ideas related to cycling. Team structures were based on the 8 articles of the European Declaration on Cycling, ensuring that each group tackled a key dimension of European cycling policy. As the number of participants required smaller groups, some articles were assigned to more than one team, allowing for diverse perspectives on the same principles. Although a clear framework was provided, creative freedom was encouraged so that each group could tailor their proposal to their context and motivation. The initiatives were later shared, commented on, and further developed through the project's online forum, fostering collaborative work beyond the face-to-face exchange. Below are some of the most outstanding projects. Pedalea de Vida, Article 11, Improving Data Collection. A proposal focused on enhancing data collection on bicycle usage through a free geolocation app with statistics and challenges, useful for both cyclists and urban planners. The goal was to influence political decisions through accurate and accessible data. Biking Banks, Article 2, Inclusive, Affordable, and Healthy Mobility. An initiative to promote inclusive and healthy mobility by creating community bicycle banks that provide accessible and free bikes for vulnerable groups. They proposed organizing a cycling marathon to raise funds from public and private investors. Rapido, Article 9, Green Jobs and Cycling Industry Development, a project aimed at creating quality green jobs in the European cycling industry. Ideas included vocational training workshops in bike repair and design, especially in rural areas, as a strategy to combat youth unemployment. Sketchy Guys Productions, Article 8, Road Safety and Awareness. A creative proposal to raise awareness about road safety using humorous video sketches about helmet use and cyclist respect. This was one of the projects that most leveraged audio-visual language for advocacy. On the Road, Article 6, Improved Cycling Infrastructure. A group focused on the need for safe, connected cycling infrastructure. They proposed partnerships between the public and private sectors to allocate funds for well-designed bike lanes integrated with public transportation. Sexy Safety Goals, Article 8, Road Safety. Targeting improved road safety for cyclists, especially women and vulnerable groups. Their ideas included awareness campaigns, improved signage, and creation of protected spaces. Pedalees, Article 9, Promoting Employment in the Cycling Sector. This group promoted job creation related to cycling, such as urban courier services, bike tourism guides, or bike mechanics, highlighting the economic potential of the sector as a means for inclusion and sustainability. Cycling is not just a ride. Article 10, Multimodality and Cycle Tourism. They defended a vision of cycling as part of a multimodal transport and sustainable tourism system, proposing the creation of a cycling center near Cantabria's beaches for education, tourism, and community building. CycleWise, Article 7, Increasing Investment in Cycling. A project to boost investment in cycling through tax incentives, favorable legislation, and subsidies. They advocated for a clear political framework to support infrastructure and cycling program funding. Foundation Inclusive Cycling, Article 2, Inclusive Mobility. They proposed an organization dedicated to international inclusive cycling events using adaptive technology, with revenues reinvested into local workshops, subsidized bikes, and training for people with disabilities. These proposals demonstrate the high level of commitment, creativity, and political awareness achieved by the youth. All were born in a collaborative environment using participatory methodologies, proving that young people have viable proposals to transform mobility and build a more sustainable, fair, and inclusive Europe. 5.2 Lessons Learned and Good Practices. The experience during the youth exchange provided numerous insights into how to facilitate youth political participation through a creative, cooperative, and transformative approach. Below are some of the key lessons and good practices identified. Linking participatory processes to real policy frameworks is highly motivating. Relating the projects to the Articles of the European Declaration on Cycling gave political meaning to the work and allowed participants to connect their ideas with concrete European policies. This strategy increased motivation and reinforced the feeling that their proposals could have real impact. The Dragon Dreaming methodology fosters inclusion and empowerment. The participatory, emotional, and collective approach of dragon dreaming created a safe environment where all voices were heard. Tools like the Dreaming Circle, the Karabirt, and the Aha Ahaha moments effectively combined structure with creativity, encouraging distributed leadership and systemic thinking. Multilingualism and cultural diversity are assets, not obstacles. Despite language and cultural differences, groups manage to communicate effectively through inclusive dynamics, visual resources, and an open attitude. Culturally sensitive facilitation was key to enabling everyone to express themselves. Rotating roles and clear structures strengthen self-management. Assigning tasks such as timekeeper, kitchen team, or paparazzi helped the group operate fluidly and autonomously. This enhanced collective commitment and prepared the youth to lead their own processes in the future. Creativity is a powerful tool for political advocacy. Groups that used audiovisual media, metaphors, or playful approaches managed to communicate their ideas more attractively and accessibly. Creativity was recognized as a legitimate and effective political tool. Celebration and evaluation are as important as action. Spaces like the process closure, collective checkouts, or the review of expectations allowed for recognition of achievements, learning from mistakes, and strengthening group bonds. Celebration is not just a conclusion, but also a source of energy for future processes. 6. Recommendations for educators and youth workers. Facilitating political participation processes with youth from a transformative perspective involves more than delivering content. It requires creating safe spaces, fostering distributed leadership, and connecting the personal with the collective. Based on the experience of the youth exchange held in Cantabria, we propose the following practical recommendations for educators, facilitators, and youth workers wishing to replicate or adapt this experience. 6.1. Tips for facilitating participatory processes with young people. Create a safe environment from the start. Activities like the circle name game or the collective creation of rules established emotional safety, which was key to active participation. 79% of participants considered that the workshop effectively promoted teamwork and a positive atmosphere. Balanced structure and flexibility. The Dragon Dreaming methodology worked best when combining a clear structure, Karabirt, roles, SMART objectives, with open spaces like open space workshops or self-managed activities. This combination was highlighted as one of the main motivators, especially during the doing and planning phases. Respect different rhythms and participation styles. Some groups face challenges due to varying levels of English or motivation. Introducing visual aids, accessible language, and personalized support enhances equity and improves the collective experience. 6.2 Key aspects for working on political participation from local to European levels. Connect with real policies. Linking directly to the Articles of the European Declaration on Cycling proved to be a highly effective strategy for motivating the groups. 65.1% of participants stated they became familiar with its principles, and 41.9% felt capable of applying them in their local context. Facilitate the landing of European concepts. While the theoretical content was positively valued, 62.8% rated it good or higher. Some participants asked for better integration with practice. Introducing policy frameworks through accessible tools. Videos, role-playing, visual debates can enhance understanding. Invite real actors. For future editions, we recommend including local policymakers or mobility experts to provide more concrete context to the proposals and foster intergenerational dialogue. 6.3. Adapting the approach to different contexts and youth groups. Ensure accessibility through diversity. Challenges were identified related to language inclusion and balanced participation. We recommend providing linguistic support, informal translation, visual thinking, reinforcing the role of intercultural facilitators, and ensuring fair rotation of roles. Integrate well-being into pedagogy. Activities such as yoga, meditation, nature walks, or deep listening dynamics like Pinakari were highly appreciated and mentioned as key moments for personal and group connection. Emotional and physical well-being was one of the key success factors of the exchange. Explore innovative formats. The use of artificial intelligence in designing campaigns and proposals was a positive surprise for participants. Integrating digital tools with a clear pedagogical approach enhances creativity and political impact potential. 7. Additional resources. This section offers complementary materials and tools for educators, facilitators, and youth workers who wish to delve deeper into the topics addressed during the youth exchange and replicate the approach in other educational or social contexts. 7.1 Glossary of Key Terms. Dragon Dreaming, a project design methodology that integrates personal growth, community strengthening, and service to the earth, structured in 4 phases: dreaming, planning, doing, and celebrating. Kara Beard, a visual planning tool used during the planning phase. It helps break down projects into tasks, define responsibilities, timelines, and resources. Dreaming Circle, a dynamic to share collective dreams without judgment or restriction. It is the creative seed of any dragon dreaming project. Pinakari, a deep listening practice involving shared silence to foster presence and group connection before activities or decision-making. Elevator speech, a short 30 seconds communication technique used to present political ideas clearly and persuasively. 7.2 Recommended readings. Dragon Dreaming in Action, Ramos and Gallego, 2023. A comprehensive guide to the methodology, available in several languages. Includes theory, tools, and real-life experiences. European Declaration on Cycling, European Commission 2023. A policy document outlining the principles and objectives of cycling policy in Europe. Young People's Participation in European Democratic Processes, European Parliament, 2023. A study on the challenges and opportunities of youth political participation. Joanna Macy, The Work That Reconnects. An inspiring framework of deep ecology applied to social transformation. 7.3 Useful online tools and platforms. Dragon Dreaming International Resources, Manuals, Training Calendar, and International Facilitator Network. Videos on Dragon Dreaming Project Design. YouTube, a visual introduction to the method and its phases. Dragon Dreaming, Introduction by John Croft. YouTube, a presentation by one of the co-creators of the methodology. Youth Goals, EU Youth Strategy, 2019 to 2027. Information on the 11 youth goals defined by the EU. Erasmus Plus Opportunities, official platform with resources, calls, and opportunities for youth and organizations. European Declaration on Cycling, official page. Conference on the Future of Europe, debate platform. Bicycle Project, online debate platform, a space to continue the youth political dialogue initiated during the youth exchange. European Youth Portal, youth participation and policy videos. United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs Visual Guide. 7.4 Interactive Digital Tools. To facilitate the implementation of the Bicycle Project's participatory approach in various settings, especially hybrid or digital environments, we propose several interactive tools that can be used before, during, or after educational activities. Miro/Mural, visual collaboration boards. Ideal for collaborative work during the dreaming phase or project planning with tools like the Carabert. Also useful for concept mapping, brainstorming, or learning systematization. Mentimeter/Slido, real-time polling. Great for energizing sessions, collecting quick group feedback, building word clouds, or prioritizing ideas participatively. Ideal for kickoff or evaluation stages. Padlet, virtual collaborative wall, perfect for sharing ideas, reflections, or resources, can serve as an expectations, fears, and contributions board, proposal repository, or digital mural for group conclusions. Canva, collaborative visual design, a creative tool for designing campaigns, posters, presentations, or visual proposals during the doing phase. Useful for building politically and emotionally impactful visual narratives. Google Forms/Microsoft Forms, surveys and questionnaires, useful for initial diagnostics, process evaluations, or impact surveys. Can also track proposals that emerge during the youth exchange. Jamboard/whiteboard.chat, virtual whiteboards, platforms for rapid brainstorming or spontaneous visual dynamics, easy to use and accessible from any device. Loom/Clipchamp, video recording and testimonials, useful for documenting processes, recording presentations, showcasing project examples, or creating inspirational clips with messages from youth participants. These tools not only broaden the methodological possibilities of the bicycle approach, but also reinforce digital inclusion, creativity, and visual communication as key languages of contemporary youth political participation. 8. Conclusions. This manual reflects a transformative educational experience, the youth exchange of the Bicycle Project, where 60 young people from 6 European countries engaged in a collective process of political empowerment through cycling culture and the Dragon Dreaming methodology. During the days shared in Cantabria, it became clear that youth political participation can be creative, meaningful, and deeply connected to values such as sustainability, inclusion, and climate justice. The bicycle served not only as a means of transport, but as a symbol of autonomy, community connection, and ecological action. The outcomes demonstrate clear impact. Over 72% of participants understood the political potential of bicycle use. 67.4% increased their knowledge about youth participation in public policies. Most experienced the encounter as a space for personal growth, practical learning, and intercultural connection. The use of Dragon Dreaming allowed participants to build projects starting from their dreams, structure them clearly, and celebrate them collectively. Additionally, the facilitation tools consolidated skills such as distributed leadership, nonviolent communication, and active listening. Beyond the statistics, a shared feeling remains: youth want and can make a difference when given the space, tools, and trust to do so. Next steps and sustainability. This manual is not intended as a conclusion, but a starting point. The political proposals developed by the groups will continue evolving on digital platforms and local networks. The participating organizations are committed to further disseminating the methodology and supporting youth participatory processes. As part of the project's continuity, the results obtained during the youth exchange will be shared with the youth workers participating in the upcoming training course, WP2. This knowledge transfer will enrich their training, foster intergenerational collaboration, and multiply the impact of the Bicycle Project's participatory and transformative approach. We encourage anyone using this manual to adapt it to their contexts and youth groups, share it with other educational or youth organizations, use it as inspiration to design new processes for civic empowerment, because to pedal, dream, and transform are also collective verbs, and because a more just, inclusive, and sustainable Europe can also be built from a bicycle.